feature crew with Jacob Braunschweiger, Chris Oslin, Dylan Hallew. And now, here's the feature crew.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the feature crew. It is Claude Mythos, or rather Fable, release week. We've got our first version of Claude Mythos, whatever that means. We'll unpack that a little bit in the news section, but it is definitely an exciting week in AI. And so thank you for joining us for the live. Welcome back, John Doe, already reporting for duty in chat.
All right.
Chris Dillon, how are you feeling?
It's always an exciting week. We get a big model, man. And this is the most Anthropic release of all time, I think. It has all the characteristics of Anthropic. So definitely excited to get into that. Seeing some wild results. I'm very curious to hear how you guys felt. I know you guys did a video earlier this week. I have been just in the shit on work. So this has been a great moment to pop my head up and see what's going on.
Yeah. The video we did, I think, was interesting. I mean, Dylan, I'm curious to hear your reflections. It was like, for me, it wasn't a massive jump. This is the greatest model that's ever been released by some huge margin. I definitely saw some glimmers of like next level stuff going on, but to me, it feels like the natural progression that we've been feeling for the last, I mean, basically the whole year so far.
Yeah, I'd definitely say it's like I don't want to say it's like a Half-Life 3 thing where like the expectation is like you get the first taste of a Mythos level and you're like, I will solve everything, because that was kind of what they're hyping it up to be. But
that is the vibe on Twitter right now. Is, you know, it's all over. It can make Grand Theft Auto 6.
It made GTA. It made Skyrim. That was definitely not fake at all. Like all this kind of stuff. And I think it's more that this is just a very logical. Like, yeah, it's getting better taste. It is like quite a bit better across a range of tasks. One-shot performance can be very impressive, but probably as you get like more like multi-turn and longer day setup is really where you see like massive benefits. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, on that note, I was curious, do we want to start any prompts early? I don't remember the runtime on this model, but I assume we're talking quite long. Or do we want to jump to news and then kind of jump back and forth? Trying to save the audience from watching us stare at a screen while spinners happen.
How about you jump to news? I'll see what I can get kicked off in the background. Since I'm leaving early, I'll see if I can take the early prompts here. And just as we're switching over, I see some activity in chat. Grady asks, welcome back. Says, for release week, had to be here. Liked our video, but wants to see more Fable stuff. We've got that lined up. And Angry Owl AI says hello. I don't remember if I don't know if I've ever seen Angry Owl. So if you're new, welcome.
Awesome. Yeah, great to have you all. And yeah, this is a fun week. So we get to run some prompts. And sometimes, as longtime viewers of the live stream know, we get some real surprising results out of the prompts. So we'll see what we have up our sleeve. But okay, just to introduce this all properly, we have Claude Fable 5 and Claude Mythos 5. The model you can use is, of course, Claude Fable 5. Unless you happen to be working at a security firm or a large enterprise that has some private Mythos access, which case, give us your review in the chat. And as Dylan and I know, even if you work at a sufficiently large corporation, doesn't mean you and your team will get access to Mythos. It all depends.
Do you guys work at a corporation?
Yeah, sometimes. Okay. So the controversy around this, so we have a massive model. There'll be a card here, right? Outperforming, I think, everybody across the benchmarks, except for, interestingly, computer use was a mild. It's probably margin of error here, but they said Mythos beat it on computer use by 0.4. So, not sure that's going to change your worldview.
Also, did they ever release Mythos preview or Mythos benchmarks? I thought they did have Mythos benchmarks for like Frontier Code and stuff like that. I thought it was interesting that they admitted it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they're purposely leaving off coding for Mythos preview, which is interesting.
I want to fact check that real quick. But yeah, I just thought it was weird when I saw this chart. I was like, hey guys, you left a whole lot of that blank. But I guess it's fine. If they had like amazing results, they probably don't want to make that obvious.
Yeah, totally. And we continue the trend of no one wants to talk about ArcAGI 3 yet because no one's doing well on it yet. But someday we will see that listed, but not today. But in general, we're talking best in class. Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say about like similarly with like HLE, like the fact that we thought like the way these like AGI tests are panning out is so different to what everyone expected, right? And how the goalposts shifted. Like if it gets even like, more than 20 points on HLE, it's all over. And now they're like 59, 60%. Like it's not unreasonable to see that like go up to maybe like 80 end of year or something like that, based on trajectory. And then we're going to be like, is this AGI? No. Like, you know what I mean? And ArcAGI 3 is going to be like 0. Then it's going to start like rapidly increasing. Then you get the 4th iteration out. So yeah, there's always going to be a bit of benchmark hacking, which is why we like to be hands-on and try it out.
Like Congress defining pornography. I know it when I see it. I know AGI when I see it. We'll know that. And then, of course, you have the other end of that, which is all of social media, especially Twitter, will declare every model AGI the minute it's released. You got to give it normally like a week or two for people to calm down a bit. But we are looking at the most powerful model on the market right now, it seems. By all accounts, that is the case. I think you all had similar experiences with it. Expecting an OpenAI response, I would say within weeks, but I'm not OpenAI. I don't know, but that tends to be the cadence.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, honestly, if there will. I mean, it definitely could happen. To me, this model maybe would make OpenAI worried. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it would make OpenAI worried. 5.5.
I think if it's outperforming it for large enterprise customers, like if your drug discovery companies and stuff are looking at this saying this is better, that would be the vector.
Right. So maybe we need to do a video on the channel that's like GPT-5 Pro, 5.5 Pro versus Fable. Because I do think this is what a lot of people are missing is like I've seen just extraordinary responses out of 5.5 Pro. Like just in the testing that I've done, which hasn't been fair or hasn't been meant to compare the two. I see more wow moments out of 5.5 Pro than I did in the video we made about Fable.
We are not.
That doesn't mean that 5.5 Pro is better than Fable, but it does. To me, it means we need to put those against each other, and Fable is this pro tier above something that would be available in Claude Code to normal humans, right? Maybe Fable's in Claude Code for the next 2 weeks or whatever, but we already know they're pulling it back. And so, I just think we have to be like this is like the pro model from Anthropic. It is not priced the same as an Opus model. Right. Opus is already more expensive than a normal OpenAI flagship. So we're talking like two degrees up in price. So yes, maybe if the drug discovery companies are, but like you can do, if the drug discovery companies are your concern, you can do things backroom, right? You can do frontiers or whatever and give them access to some specialized model, which OpenAI has been doing. I think the question is, will Fable take chat usage or coding agent usage? And it could, but we are at this.
Well, probably not, right? Because they're going to pull it out of the subscription tier. So
right. And so then will people go use it via the API, or will they? I mean, I think it still will be in the subscription tier, but not included as a part of the subscription, right? So if you're a subscriber, then you can pay extra credits and use Fable in coding tasks in Claude Code. The question for me is like, how often will that be worth it? Like I'm already at the point where like I send every codex task at low reasoning, because why would I burn my credits on extra high when if it fails, it'll just keep working on low until it succeeds, and if it really struggles, then I can always flip it to extra high. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We got some good comments in the chat. Staring at spinners is my favorite part from John Doe. Yeah, that's becoming the job. Ferio says Fable was able to solve some issues I had for many months that no model was ever able to come remotely close to solve until now. Opus 4.8 or GPT 5.5 and on first attempt. Sweet. That's awesome to hear. And Gradius says the ArcAGI benchmarks are holding off because of the 30-day data retention. They're in discussion. Yes, so that will be our next headline is we have the model itself, and then we have the actual release of the model, which is, like I said, the most Anthropic release of all time. fantastic tech under the hood, layered on a lot of policy decisions that really seesawed around. But Anthropic's officially confirmed viewers of the feature crew. Modeling a planet, having you go to planets. I'm just saying. We're claiming it.
Yep. Thanks to Anthropic viewers. We see you.
If you would like to donate any tokens, we would be much obliged. Okay, I think... Right. So here we go. Fable 5's new safeguards. This is the beginning of the problems. So they think they reached a threshold where they present significant risks. Only a limited number of cyber defenders and critical software infrastructure providers will be given Mythos without these guardrails on. They've been improving the safeguards. They've been improving their classifiers. There's a lot of text here describing it.
Yep.
But what it comes down to is a few things are happening pretty reliably to folks, which brings a lot of irony to the biology benchmark up here. It is very, very touchy if you bring up anything biology related. And when it does hit you, when it goes like, oh, yep, classifier hit, it kicks you down to Opus 4.8. So you'll get the lesser model. And I think that happens visibly. I don't know, you guys tested it, but it seemed like that part's happening.
Yeah, it tells you something. At least, like, I think a lot of people were using it in, like, Claude Fine. You know what I mean? And it definitely has, like, a specific UX for it.
The second part of this policy, so you have some pretty strict classifiers on bringing up any biological things, certainly any cybersecurity related topic. Those are all going to get flagged. You get pushed down to the dumber model, or it rejects the policy outright.
Yep.
But then people started digging up. There was a secret policy that silently degraded Claude for rival AI research is the headline.
Yep.
Headline is a little controversial, but in general, when you asked it to do reinforcement learning or model creation tasks, general workloads that are part of AI development, it would degrade its performance silently.
Yep. This is bad. I mean, okay. Actually, I understand as the RAI do, kind of like all that. I appreciate they're kind of in a rock and hard place, but I think what was bad here, to your point of framing it up like this, like if you're going to do this, make it not silently bad, because the problem here is now moving forward, you're always going to be like, did they just intentionally dumb down like responses to this topic? Like if they want to take the stance, which was like, hey guys, biology and, AI research is just out of the question. Like if that's their stance on how to make it more safe so that people can get access to it. I mean, still sketchy, but at least it's clear. But the precedent of, hey, silently fail or become worse so that people are disincentivized from using the model and then turn around and probably give the real model to like enterprises is a super dangerous precedent. So I can totally understand why everyone was like, And on top of that, it's like, I just think in general, the fact that they're like, we have Project Glasswing, we can't release this. This is like so scary from safety perspective. And then 2 months later, they're like, well, we solved all the security aspects. Apart from these two things that people really want to use it for. And here you go. Here's the rest of the model. Is dubious to me. So anyway.
Very dubious.
I didn't, from a responsible AI perspective, this seems very like the equivalent of like virtue signaling in a sense, right? They're like, oh, when it's convenient for us to use our AI, we're going to do it. As opposed to we actually, think this is a problem. Because on the biology thing, I've seen people ask about like, tell me about like the mitochondria. And then it just goes straight to 4.8, right? So it's like, filtering it and like having like safety stack is really, really hard. And I appreciate a lot of early work, but this really does feel like virtue signaling, right? They're like, oh, we're worried that people have like bad access. It feels more like they're trying to protect their lead, right? Like,
yep.
So I don't know.
Well, yeah, and just looking at the chat, people seem more upset, but more so than any virtue signaling, with like the decisions they made to sort of degrade silently, and then maybe the changes they've made since to actually tell you that they're degrading the response quality. Like there's both of these are honesty points, but there's like the business honesty and then like the sort of interaction with the individual consumer honesty. It seems like the latter is which for me, again, I probably care about more in my day-to-day usage, but I'm not a Claude subscriber. I mean, I'm a $20 subscriber, but I'm not like a big-time Claude subscriber. So maybe I can let it pass a little bit. But I think the chat is right about this. That like, like if you want to keep your consumers, like you have to be honest with them.
And look, I get the distillation risk. I understand that they're trying to prevent the Chinese models from just distilling against it. There's all sorts of threat factors you're trying to take into account. But I agree. Let's be clear about it. Let's just say, oh, hey, this flag, we're dropping you down to Opus. But that was not the only controversy. Of course, there's got to be another layer to this. So the usual stuff, people getting rejected for prompts. We see this with a lot of model releases, so I'm not overly surprised by that. This silent failing was controversial. And then you started seeing posts like this crop up. PSA, if you're using Claude Fable today with memory turned on, you just violated all your NDAs. Because Anthropic requires a 30-day retention policy, including human review, and the memory feature searches past chats for context. So this is true to some extent. There is, if you look at Anthropic's data retention practices for Mythos class models, they're requiring limited data retention and review as part of the safety work. Prompts submitted to and outputs generated by Mythos class models are retained for 30 days for trust and safety purposes on every platform where the models are offered. The every platform part is surprising. That means
API.
Yep, that means running it on Amazon, running it on whatever cloud you'd pick.
And that explains why large enterprises, anybody in this call might work at included, will not use this model.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is,
so I think that's part of the reason I think we're kind of delayed in seeing a lot of like feedback and stuff like that, just because I think the really grunty, like people who are willing, I think Chris, you asked like how long for like running stuff. Like they tout this as like a multi-day model. And there's just no way consumers are going to be like, let's rip $1,000 like to go like test a prompt, right? Maybe when you get to enterprise, people are really going to start ripping it. But yeah, this is kind of crazy to me. Like, I don't know how you can be like, yeah, let's get enterprise like contracts and then turn around and say like, yeah, we're taking input and output for 30 days with human review. Like that just really
that's what's quite surprising. I mean, hence why I'm calling it the most Anthropic relaunch of all time, because like great tech policy gets befuddled. It's very confusing to me that this is the practice they're going to do. It seems like handing OpenAI a win here. Like you gave OpenAI the angle of like, all they got to do is not do this, and then they're going to get a lot more success in the enterprise. I guess we're not beating the OpenAI fanboy allegations anytime soon.
I mean, look, like I think there is something to be said here, like where we need to think about like how to do data retention practices, because there is something to be said of like, you could be like, hey, like you now have a more powerful model, and occasionally we need to think about like how we can do some kind of auditability, right? But to just be like, we take all your input and output, there has to be a way where there's like a kind of like mid ground,
Yeah, and here's the real part that gets your business world up in arms is the change. So this has always been the policy for consumer plans. Your chats have never been private with Claude, but this change only applies to organizations that have set up workplaces with zero data retention in the Claude console, Claude with ZDR in Claude Enterprise, or Claude through AWS Bedrock, Google Cloud, or Microsoft Foundry.
Yeah.
So they're saying like we are superseding the policies of the cloud providers. And they think it's because of the risk and all this stuff. But very interesting political move. Will absolutely crush your enterprise usage. And then so I don't really get the jujitsu here, right? Because you're going to remove this from the subscribed plans within 2 weeks. And you're having this policy that makes it kind of a non-starter for enterprise right now. So who is your audience for the API?
Silicon Valley with like thousands of dollars of tokens.
It's just startups.
And even then, like I remember seeing it like a headline. I thought like OpenAI was like, we're gonna give you like or take equity in exchange for tokens. Like I honestly feel like
that's a separate discussion. But yes, this is VC burn. This is please take your latest round and burn it on Fable.
Has to be, right? Because that's why I'm like, it's just crazy. Because an enterprise is not going to turn around and be like, let's try this. They're just like, they read this and like, as Jacob was saying, all proper, like, I should say all proper, but like most big enterprises were just like, no, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, this is just insane. And even that Twitter thing was like, you violated your NDAs. Kind of like legitimately true, right? Like, that's like not even a bad take. I mean, I'm sure like this could get litigated and they'd be like, well, we didn't actually intend for this, and both sides, whatever. But like, it's still like, why would take that risk? You're like, well, we'll probably just wait a couple of weeks for something to change, you know? Like, things do move fast, but at the same time, they're like, real money, like, they're like, we need to protect our data, right?
Yes.
And then it's like, you know, is the jujitsu, to your point, Chris, is it like that they want to like start getting better data and understand how people are using this as a competitive advantage?
Who knows, right? I mean, they're certainly framing it in a safety.
Real quick, before we continue, there's some questions in the chat.
Yeah.
If we're doing the prompts, we are going to do the prompts. We're just kind of like covering the release first, but yeah, we're gonna speed.
I think we actually have some results from the prompts ready to rock, right? We can,
and we do, and we actually
should we do that first, and then we can go back to more talking while we send off next.
Yeah, when we send off a follow up. Yep, absolutely.
Perfect.
Give the people what they want.
Get this up, and then also we have a potentially sort of special. I'll be dropping off soon, and then I might be back. So it's gonna be an unconventional live here, but we're we're celebrating the Claude release week. We will see what happens. Okay.
The government. The government's not. Oh, I see. The government as a potential customer.
Yeah, while I pull this up, like you guys check.
Government's got pretty strong policy. I think one of the things that some of the Twitter discourse is missing is the retention policy is not just about like stealing secrets or learning what you're doing and the fear of training on it. Those organizations also have contracts with folks, right? So if I'm doing anything that affects your data or affects how data is processed, or even has a list of people that are pinging a given server or whose data gets routed to a given server, even if I'm not exposing that data, if any of that gets to Anthropic, you violated a contract with that other company too. So this policy in general is a non-starter for most large enterprises, especially cloud providers, right? Because you're like, I can't run the risk.
Processor and data controller. Like, so, yeah.
Absolutely that. Which prompt is this, Jacob? What are we doing first?
Okay, so what we have here is, and just for context for folks, like we're going full API here because we don't want to be running out of like quota every couple of minutes in the chat client. This is how we did it for the main video.
So the launch was for us. That's what we're learning.
Exactly. Just API usage, just burn our money. Yeah, go for it. So this prompt is our like classic city prompt. We'll post the link in the video description, but it's like we have it up on our website. And as always, we're looking for a city simulation. We're looking for, of course, buildings, roads, etc. But then we spend a lot of time on the cars and the NPCs, the pedestrians, and then like how it's simulating the city over time. Is there like a day-night cycle? Is there an economy? Is there jobs and working? So we shall see. We got a response, which is, let's see how long it is. Fairly long response. As I'm skimming through, it did seem to hit most of the things. Like it hit sandbox, which is something that like when we were running this test earlier, it wasn't always hitting like the sort of like sandbox features of being able to build and destroy buildings in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So it is claiming that there's a sandbox mode. It's claiming that there is like a robust sort of civilian simulation. So let's see how it looks.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we got. I did take a look at this before I put it live, and the biggest issue is it's hard to see at night. Let's see if I can get it to be day.
So you're saying all those Twitter posts about it making fully rendered worlds with models were not, in fact, one shot?
In one shot? Maybe not. I mean, we got better results than this on the video, I think. I think as we push it, it'll get better. Okay, so this is the day view. There's something very strange going on here where like...
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch that one Marvel movie where like the shadow or whatever just turned people into shadows? It looks like all the buildings just got completely flattened.
Yeah. Mm.
So the shadows are not... I can't tell you what's going on here. There's a situation where like the shadows are being calculated based on geometry that's not there.
Yep.
Which is difficult. And then you do see some geometry.
What are those, like trees or something?
Kind of even more confusing. Yeah, maybe trees. But then like some of these look like they could be buildings. The rivers are. I mean, like I'll give it that. Like the cars are at least like following the roads.
They're just going across.
Are they?
Little bridge things. Yeah. We're getting much better.
Yeah,
much better results. I've been already, dude. Not them nerfing Fable in like 2 days. Like that's why we need to do our release videos, because within 2 days it just gets pretty bad.
Yeah. We've got.
Who knows? It could just be this prompt though. But like we did test some 3D things, right? Like we were seeing some pretty good planet responses from memory.
Oh yeah. We got very good results on our first pass at this. I mean, this might just be a fluke. We can always run it again, but this is the first pass.
Tell it Dario is disappointed, and it needs to impress Dario.
Should we run a feedback on this, or just like try again from like clean?
I'm tempted to give it feedback and run a planet test. So we have a.
Well, we have a planet test from the video.
Oh,
okay. We could push planet test because the planet test result you got was really good. I don't know why. Remember the graphic design it chose for the second part? It's really, really cool. Okay. Should we maybe?
I mean, I think maybe we should start.
I'm really worried that like if we go on this one, it's just going to be another bad problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think we start over with this, and then, so I'll run that offline while I go and figure out what I need to figure out.
Awesome.
Oh my God! Hang on a second, guys. Breaking news. Tatsu Code AI gave us $100. Fable is expensive. Here's a little support from us at Tatsu Code. Thank you so much. That is incredible.
Tatsu. So Tatsu, thank you so much. Tatsu, for Chris and Dylan, who weren't here on 2 streams ago. Tatsu was our big donor 2 weeks ago.
Incredible.
And so like big thank you. The background here is Tatsu's working on his own harness, and some of it was inspired by some of our tests, or at least part of the development was inspired by some of our tests. And so just incredible to see this like sort of community develop around Absolutely. The work we're doing here, and we're builders, and so we love to see building, and this means a lot. So everybody go try the Tatsu harness. And let us know what you think. Let Tatsu know what you think. 100%. And we will definitely put this money to good use for some Mythos
right here. Now, let's go.
Absolutely.
Tatsu, do you have a prompt you want run?
Yeah,
prompt run. It's you.
First dibs for sure, 100%. Okay, so I will get this one rerun, and then I'll drop off for a little bit. I will do some side planning here, and then come back. You boys just make sure you're checking messages, because I'll be back channeling to plan.
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then if there are let me go on to chat. If there are any prompts that viewers want, I can do that while Jacob's instance is ripping through on season, so I can queue that up as well.
Perfect. We're professionals here, obviously.
But we're getting.
We're funded now, so that's amazing.
It's our seed round.
Yep.
Awesome. I am up, so I think I'm ready to go. Can you guys? So MMA Hawk, can you guys a 3D SpaceX Starship Simulator as a game with Fable?
And welcome back, MMA Hawk. I've seen you for months, maybe year plus on the channel, so. Appreciate the support. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
MMA Hawk also asked for a 3D SpaceX Starship launch. That's the one you were reading? Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading. Okay, so why don't
I can listen to
chat. I'll queue that up. So chat, do we want to do just like, because I'm a bit worried maybe like the longer prompts are causing Fable to be like worse. Like, Chris, did you see on Twitter, were people giving prompts that were like really like minimal and letting Mythos?
No, because the pitch on Twitter was you give it a goal effectively.
Yeah,
and some of those were quite big.
Because basically what I'm saying is, should we make a bigger prompt on create us a game like a 3D Starship Simulator? Should we just keep it minimal and then see what it has? Like, I'm kind of interested to see what its defaults for 3D would be.
I see. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I might give it a high quality. Should we give it? Was it SpaceX was the request? So we'll see if it can get that accurately.
All right.
Yeah.
So. From my side, City is off. The City V2, I guess, is off, and it has I upped the thinking. We were on high before, we're on extra high now, hoping that gets us through these building shadow mismatch issues.
Awesome.
Okay, and
Incredible.
I will drop now. I will be back with hopefully fun surprises. All right.
Awesome. As you said.
Grady S saying, yeah, Fable has really gone downhill recently, so experiencing the same thing we are. This is pretty typical of the model releases. Like, you'll get the initial pop of the first day, and then as the usage spreads out and you get more people, there can be this noticeable degradation. Anthropic is historically especially known for this, but you would think they got enough compute now with the SpaceX deal that this shouldn't be a problem. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on. We have a ton of comments in the chat, so I'm trying to get to some of those while you're running.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is maybe I can just share. They do have like a generator prompt flow. So I personally haven't used that on the workbench. I'm not expecting anything good, but we can just like demo it as like, hey, let's see what happens. Let's go this. I'm assuming it's basically just going to use like an Opus model to like try and generate something, but let's just try that. Have thinking enabled. Okay. Create a 3D game. Okay, generate. We'll see if this does any good.
Curious what it does.
Yeah, it picks up 3JS. Functional code in a single HTML file. Sure. It's gotten a few bits and pieces. Variables, game requirements. That's cute. So it's got a little bit of integration. I'm not a big Claude Max either, so this is the first time I'm actually playing around with a lot of the platform stuff. Usually we just use the API key in our like harnesses. So that's why I wanted to play around with like the workbench and see if they got anything cool. Let's go with this. And then that even. Also, Chris, you'll love this. Are you watching? Yeah. Do you see how it says generate prompt? Like, where do you think I click if I want to enter a prompt? You have to click to the right here, and that's where the typing goes. It's so insane.
Oh, man. Thopper's got some good designers, too, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Wait.
That is really insane.
It is kind of insane.
Buttons beneath the input box, folks. We've been doing it since the 80s.
Yeah, you're just watching me.
I haven't. I'm not that old. I'm the oldest member of the feature group, but I was not an 80s kid.
What the hell? I swear it ran.
I believe in you.
It's just gone.
Oh, there you go. Is that output?
No. This is what we ran on the stream.
All right, well, you're looking for that. We have a whole backlog of comments. John Doe making the case that you really can't run Codex on 5.5 Pro. It's too slow. You can use Mythos for everything. So he's seeing an edge there from Fable, which is great. I could see that. The Pro models definitely go really hard on the length of the run. But that has been how people are describing this on Twitter. We were going to get to it in news, but loops are the new thing. Loops are so hot right now. So instead of just having an agent, you have a loop. You have your automated factory of agents that run in a loop towards a goal. And so the meta is actually shrinking prompts, to Dylan's point, and trusting that it'll spin up 6 sub-agents and start working through it and burn your whole token budget. John Doe saying he also experienced really aggressive rejections with the model. That has been the story. Anybody talking bio? I think... Kaiku, you might have experienced the same thing. I did ask what is a true statement that most people haven't considered, and it rejected it. Nice. There you go.
Okay. So okay, sorry about that. So I've also just kicked off. I think the longer prompt worked, but it's not coming up in the UI. I suppose, like, my guess is that, like, it's into response, hasn't gotten the response. So I'm also just spinning off another one just to make doubly. What is going on?
Jeremy Stott says it's not really a non-starter. Business critical customer data should never be sent to a third party, full stop. It's very different from source code. That is far less valuable and trending less valuable over time, right?
True.
The source code is not the magic it used to be. What's the current public opinion on whether the government has classified models that rival commercial ones? Oh man, and Jacob isn't even here. I don't know if models is the right word. I don't know. I don't know enough. I could buy the government has models, but unless you're storing the data centers deep underground or something, the spot where these models are running wouldn't be invisible. I certainly expect, and I think we have even had the companies say it, that governments get different fine tunes of these models effectively, right? Because you have to remove the safeguards. It's got to be able to operate on classified data. There was the whole kerfuffle between Anthropic and the DoD around that. So the government is certainly using a less restricted model. At least some of the government is. I think your average rank and file folks, not so much, but somebody is definitely using models that have way less restrictions on it. And then, yeah, Angry Owl popped in. The Pentagon formally designated Anthropic as national security supply chain risk. Yeah. Yeah, they went back and forth on that quite a bit.
I mean, allegedly, we got a response already. It seems dubious. Let me just... I mean, says Fable 5. I wish we could just use the API for this. I should probably set it up. Anyway, let me get this going. We'll see what we got back.
Ferio is saying Fable is said to be way better at long workflow, though. That's right. I fear that one-shot HTML test, it won't really improve that much. Yeah, very possible. It is certainly the way it's framed. The hard part about demoing a long-running agentic harness on a live stream is you don't want it to run for 3 hours, 4 hours, because we'll be off by then. So we tend to do scope it. So that is a weak spot of it. And it's something we're still debating how we do that with a YouTube channel. We could certainly try running one during the week and make a video out of it, but it's hard to do live commentary on it. Oh boy, here we go. All right.
Here we go. So it did get something. I'm pretty certain this should have run on Mythos. And it's not bad. It ran really fast. Like when we were testing, it was taking at least a couple of minutes to run. So this came back really fast, and it's not bad. Oh, okay. This was the simple prompt, which was just create a 3D SpaceX simulator game, right? And I just said, hey, make it runnable in HTML. The longer one that we generated with Workbench, I think is still running. So this is what came back pretty fast, and it's not bad. It looks like it. I don't know. WS. Okay. Pitch and roll. Okay, so we can kind of control the ship. We kind of start not on the planet. We just start kind of like half in the atmosphere. I mean, it's kind of a little bit janky space-wise. Yeah. See for camera. Huh. Oh, it's got some cool kind of camera angles going on here. We can see, like, I guess this is like looking above, looking below. This might be the view from the like platform. It's not bad. This is not like blowing us away again. Right. You know, this is just like kind
there
of.
There is this meta thing of the code almost always runs now, which I'm still not over. Like, I know it's been a few models that this has been true, but we've been doing this long enough that we were used to like, okay, it's going to take us 3-4 prompts to get something running with anything 3D. And now it's going to run. It's just a question of the quality. And that's still a wild thing to see.
Yeah.
We got a massive chat. We got 35 people viewing, which is huge for us. So thank you all so much. We will keep running some prompts. If people want to throw some ideas in the chat, we are running your prompts. So
absolutely.
That was for the MMA Hawk. I was expecting a little more accuracy on the actual craft, but you know,
I totally agree.
Only because I've seen far too many Twitter claims of like extraordinary 3D prowess. Yeah. Though every time I comment to ask if it did generate the assets itself, no one wants to respond. So I'm thinking it didn't. I totally buy it could place things.
Yeah. Let's see. I want to see how much that prompt cost. I'll give you an estimate.
Angry Owl saying that Anthropic cuts models' reasoning times, making the models dumber. This has definitely been something people talk about a lot.
So like that was what I think just happened there. The reasoning time was like extraordinarily low. I think it just like immediately started printing tokens. Now we gave it, that was the short prompt. Like it was literally just that. And it does a fine job. But yeah, I didn't see any reasoning. And reasoning was on high. I mean, I think there might be one more like extra high or something like that. That cost 50 cents to get that output. So, you know, it is kind of weird when you put it like that. Like, it's not that much. But at the same time, if everyone using, say, ChatGPT or Claude was like, hey, every time you hit enter for that little game, that's 50 cents, I think we'd see a very different distribution of how many people actually use consumer, chat interfaces.
Boy, do I have news for you, friend. Video models? You want to use CDANs too? 50 cents would be a dream. Try like $1.80 per 5-second generation.
The age of subsidy is over.
You are just sending it.
I mean, that's also the thing. Like, what we're waiting for. Sorry, is there? Oh, someone asked for a 3D Mario Kart game clone open world brackets.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. That was from.
We got $100, man. We can go extra high. Let's send it.
Let's send
we
it.
got to honor Tatsu here.
We will. And then, sorry, I can't pronounce the name. De Flynn. Sorry. But let me go ahead and cue that up as well.
Okay, while that's running, I figured I would show. Anthropic's got their own little highlight reel they've wanted to show of what people have done with it, so you can get an idea of what folks beyond us have been able to pull off. So this is using the /goal feature, allegedly. And this was someone making a soccer trainer, so it could track the ball and using their camera. So it wrote the code to do this, right? It wrote a program for the trajectory and drawing it, all that, guessing the speed. So kind of cool. This is not outside of the model's capabilities already, in my opinion, but it's cool. Ethan Molek, who is a well-known AI researcher, right? He writes a lot of articles on it, gets early access to the models. Said Fable create a visually interesting shader that can run in Twiggle.app, make it an infinite city of neo-Gothic towers, partially drowned in a stormy ocean with large waves, and then a follow-up prompt to make it better, which was actually the prompt, just make it better. And it's pretty cool. This is giving like PlayStation 1 energy, right? Like if you were in that era, this would have been a cool trailer to see. Camera would have panned down to your avatar and spun around it. Fun to see it start to poke at shaders. Another one, I deliberately threw a tough challenge at Claude Fable 5 to see how far it could express itself. An effect where ink melts together like a fluid. I think ink's already a fluid, but this is translated, so it's probably just Grok. Missing some nuance there. I thought this might be tough one to test limits. Let's see what you got. Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's really pretty. That's cool. Super fun to see.
That is cool. And did these have full prompts? Like what we could do is we could also at some point run some of these as well and see if we get anywhere close to.
Some of them do. This one I don't believe did. They have a link to go try it.
Yeah, that's
so we can play with it. But
absolutely, we have the Mario Kart prompt on max reasoning running right now. So
it came back already. I was expecting to have to do so much more vamping this time.
It's actually thinking for more than 30 seconds, which is promising. So
hey, all right. Someone has their own Boeing 747 benchmark. Maybe I'm just a cynic. I'm still extremely skeptical of any modeling. Like if you show me a halfway sane model, which this is barely halfway sane, I still tend to believe it found it and dropped it in there, which is impressive in its own right. But I have never seen the models do great at generating 3D models.
Yeah. It's like going to be a fascinating.
But that would be a jump. Like if that's happening,
yeah.
Man, I'm stoked. I am so stoked.
I feel like there will be. I hope there's research in the future about this, right? About like whether we want to like, reutilizing someone else's work is like good engineering, right? Yeah. But just blindly copying because you can't do it with no transparency is not good either. So are the models actually going to get any more intelligent, or are they actually getting quote unquote better at finding previous instances?
Right, and mesh generation is getting better. You look at Meshy, you look at folks like that. Generally, where it breaks down is when you want to go use it in a game.
Yeah,
the topology's all weird.
Yeah,
it's not optimized. It certainly isn't rigged.
Yeah,
and right now you can try to daisy chain some stuff together. I would say 3D modeling is, if you think of image as a generation back from coding, video is back from that, 3D is back from that. Like that's sort of the trajectory. Because image we're starting to get, especially with Nano Banana, you can get that almost fine grain, move the banana, do this, keep this the same. Video, not so much.
Yeah.
You really got to use first and last. And unless someone's a pro in the chat and better than I am, but keyframes have been my saving grace there. And then 3D is really just sort of a slot machine still.
Yeah.
Little goldfish sim. People are doing a lot of fluid sims, which is interesting. I don't even know if this counts as a fluid sim. This is
looks kind of like it, right from above.
Sort of radials coming up. All right. I'm not sure why that one got featured as much. This is a very honest one. This is like trying to get it to rig a character and sort of seeing some parts it gets right, but it's got the leg connected to the head. And so this one I like because this is your moment in time. Okay, we tried to get it to figure out rigging, which would be very impressive, right? That would be writing your own rigging would be crazy. Normally use tools for that.
Yeah.
So pretty impressive result there.
That is really cool though. Yeah.
I don't know if I have 2 minutes of it in me, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wooden house. I always assume that these are not generated from scratch, but are using the Minecraft MCP or some of those hookups where you can give it Minecraft blocks. But still fun to see it lay something out.
Yeah.
I'm max reasoning effort.
Yeah.
Still my safe system prompt that removes creativity but makes buildings more functional.
Interesting.
There you go.
Okay.
Mine edit is the place to do it.
Mm.
You got a result you want to share?
No. It's okay. Still thinking.
Maybe we got some solid reasoning out of this.
Yeah. Let's see.
I saw this one happen. This is ask Fable to build a navigable version of Yosemite at scale. Pulled satellite imagery plus real mass elevation data. Classified individual forest pixels created. This I'm surprised by. Big if true. Also big if true.
Let's see. Yosemite Valley.
It certainly looks like a Claude start game screen, though. They always have the controls.
True. That same kind of rigging thing.
I could buy this. I mean, it doesn't look impossible to do. This seems very doable. It's all the same tree, too, which helps.
Yeah. Screenshots aren't working fixture. And then, the test itself is just like Playwright. So, I kind of like buy.
I buy this.
I buy that it was done. But I think this is something that might even be able to be like 5.5 Pro and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I guess this is like my kind of take, like looking through a lot of these. I've seen in the comments that like a lot of folks are like, oh, a lot of these kind of feels like mundane. And I'm kind of the same thing. Like, I think this is like, it's not like a dud model in a sense. I think it's just like, again, I think our expectations were so large that we were expecting like, oh, one-shot Skyrim, right? Because like when you say like, yeah, this thing's like AGI, you expect like huge things. But this is just clearly like the next step up of Frontier. It has, I think, like in our video, we talked about having better taste when it was doing things like business reasoning. I know like a lot of examples are about 3D and games and stuff like that because they just are like nicer to demo, you know.
Right.
But like, yeah, this might be a good one to show like UI and stuff like that because we were starting to say it had bitter taste. You should check out the paper thing that we did on the video. Like it made its own design language that Jake was trying to push. I know you're probably going to look at this and you're like, what the hell is that? Like, look at that like rounding at the bottom.
I mean, this is cool. I wouldn't call it liquid glass. Liquid glass does all sorts of jazzy stuff to get that sort of warping at the edges, but it also kind of accelerates a little bit and gloops. It's a whole thing. It took somebody did figure out how to do it in a browser now. It took quite some doing, but
yeah.
I could also buy that given this is solved now, I'm less impressed. Like if it had made liquid glass and no one in the design community had managed to translate that to web, then oh my god, that'd be cool. Yeah. This seems doable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. There is this step function thing. Every launch, there's always this is going to change everything. This is the new reality. Games are super fun to demo. Games are also the easiest freaking thing in the world to lie about because all I have to do is go like, I one-shotted it. Yeah, I gave it access to an API to download models. Yeah, I gave it those libraries, and that's great. Like that's actually probably how you're going to use the model.
Mm-hmm.
But it is different than it built this from the ground up. Like it decided how to build this. John Doe in the chat says, there's such an obvious demand for games 3D work. You got to wonder if it wouldn't make sense for labs to build some flavor of generic looking tooling. I keep expecting Unreal to announce an MCP or a plugin. That just seems like a real natural fit.
Just wait till Jacob is back and then say @Jacob with your comment and get him on a spiel for like 20 minutes.
But yes, and Jacob does have a generic harness for folks who are new to the channel that he's built. So he'll showcase that when he comes back on.
Yeah.
But I keep expecting it. Roblox has their MCP. People are using AI in Roblox.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, Roblox is like the big chunk of gaming now. This is how I feel old. Is Roblox is gaming to the younger generation. There's Roblox, Fortnite, and then some other stuff their dads play. Right? Like it is so
entertainment
nuts.
is going to be so interesting moving forward. Like it, and especially for us who are like maybe tech literate enough to understand all this, but then also like not in the like complete like Zoomer like boomer, but also not like 12 years old like just grinding Roblox all day. Like we're gonna be like, what is going on? Like even like what happens to consoles in the age of like Gen AI and stuff like that? Like we're gonna see.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, games. One of the hot takes in the channel for folks who are new is games. I think games take local inference to really be different. Because so far what you've seen, some of the critiques investors have made of AI games is, everybody's trying to make a platform. Platforms are very, very hard to make. Generally, they fail. Most fail. Even ones that got a lot of traction fail. Roblox is kind of the exception that proves the rule. But we're still at the stage in AI where you're looking backwards as you make. You're like, hey, can I recreate something that's already been made? And generally that's a sign you're early. Because making stuff you already made, making it faster, cheaper, that's all great. Fine. You still have a distribution problem. You can go make 50 games with the models and no one will play them. You have to figure out how to get them to play them. That stays. But you're still not making something that couldn't exist before. And I think to do that, you're going to need local inference to pull that off. Because the dreams people have of AI games is dynamic avatars and NPCs in the world that you can carry on a conversation with and that react to you dynamically. And that cannot have, to Jacob's point, that token cost dropping. I can't sit there like it's a slot machine when I'm playing when I'm playing Elder Scrolls 6 and talking to my NPC and having generative conversations. I can't watch this total keep going down. It has to get to a spot where I can do unlimited inference on the computer. And that doesn't have to be a Mythos level model or bigger. That can really be a simple model because the game already has the character, the rigging, all of that. It's just drive the motion, say the lines with a set of pre-done voice IDs from 11 Labs or whatever.
Yep.
That seems very doable this decade.
Now, on max reasoning, it is still thinking. I have not got a single output token. So the problem is going to be this is going to take multi-day just to get a response. I could resend it with less reasoning and see if we get any output.
Well, we want to show one of the. If you have one of the planets queued up, can we show one of the planet results from the video?
It's a good idea. Okay. Let's hope this is okay. Actually, you know what? I can be even more conservative. This is. I don't trust their platform.
Oh, just copy the output. Yeah, don't.
So basically, I'm opening another tab to be able to switch over the prompt, because if the prompt is like halfway through, and
this is a trauma response, we have had our prompt stopped by the
many a time
by that UI many a times.
I'm a bit scared though. It hasn't touched my credit balance. I'm probably gonna get $100 bill for this one.
Well, hey, we got a $100 donation. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, let's go. So I had one planet, and I'll show that real quick. It was
Ralph Loop. Yeah, exactly.
A Ralph Loop for this would be great.
Part of the price. The worst part is the price of PCs right now. Look, we want every PC to have 128 gigabyte unified memory. Normies should have this affordability when they're doing. Yeah, you're gonna see this. We talked about it last week too. This year, you're gonna have a device come out where you can run. If you have a lot of money and you're willing to buy a computer that costs as much as a car, you can run like GPT-4 locally. So we're still looking at quite some time before this is a realistic personal use case, but maybe end of the decade.
Yeah. So this is where my planet runs.
Okay.
It was, again, good. This is a single shot, slightly different prompt, but basically it's just an extension of what we usually do. And it came out good. Like the thing that we were saying even on channel was like, this is probably maybe one of the best planets we've seen. It's not like an amazing step function change. It's just good. Like, I'm sure that we can push this and make it really, really good. But, and people in the chat correct that, like, for the purpose of this, like, we're trying to get it to, like, run and show you something in one go without us having to, like, take, like, 15 minutes to be like, okay, we have, like, compiled this or, like, have a different harness, whatever. So we want, like, nice little bits, kind of like what we've been showing there, like games and other demos to see how far we can push it. But one-shot performance seems marginally better. The taste is good. Like, everything is looking more reasonable. And honestly, like, that is quite an impressive, like, jump up, because every time people start to use this now, things are just going to get better. Like, we've been prompting for ages and stuff like that. But someone like I don't know, who's like new to the game or like a fresh like grad or whatever will probably get a much better result. So yeah, I mean, take it as is. This is probably one of our better one-shot responses, but that's why a lot of our testing is trying to evolve to be like multi-shot challenge mode, things like that, where we really start to push it. And then Jacob, I think, has the challenge mode. Maybe let me see if he's posted the artifacts, and I can just like use that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing why.
I have to so a commenter on our last live stream did correct me. The DGX workstation, which is what I'm talking about, comes out at the end of the year, can run GPT 4.0. I quoted at 10,000. I was off by an order of magnitude. So according to the commenter, it'll probably be closer to like $80,000 or something. So you're talking a very, very expensive workstation. Definitely an enterprise thing. You're going to buy this for your employee rather than something you buy personally. The general trend is still true though, right? We would expect that to be somewhere near the consumer price point end of the decade. And that's plenty powerful enough to do a lot, especially as you start thinking about optimized specific models. You've seen Microsoft and Google both do this, where models are tuned to a specific task. So if you're running a game, you can imagine a smaller model that specifically just does dialogue or facial movements. But that's why I said car costs. Like, you're talking very, very expensive. So if we're taking the commenter at their word, that is Rich in Paradise. So I believe you're Rich. That seems about right? You're sort of getting a data center in your pocket kind of thing. Not pocket, but under your desk. But there will be this trend. There will be a series of AI unlocks that happen when the compute's local. And you'll always have the super powerful howitzer of a model in the cloud. But increasingly, you're going to try to move stuff locally. You're already seeing this in laptops with like can I do light transcription or something locally, right? That starts to come when we just scale it up from there.
And it makes a lot of sense. I think there's a genius to. There's probably only so many data centers we can build so fast. So if you can actually have something that is pretty good locally that actually meets your need rather than always needing Frontier, perfect. We're all happier and able to use things more efficiently. So
yeah.
Now, so I can't find artifacts in Big. I think I'm gonna queue up a Mario Kart prompt on a medium reasoning and didn't get anything back. Yeah, all I can see, unless it's just hanging, but no, it looks like it's still going. So yeah, let me put it on medium, see if we can get any kind of response just to show something from Fable in a reasonable time frame. That's not going to take an hour. So give me a sec, I'll queue that up.
Awesome. Well, I can get some news going too. Other news this week, of course, you have the SpaceX IPO. We'll get to that. We gotta have Jacob for that. Jacob's our true SpaceX believer. OpenAI acquired a company I hadn't heard much about, so this is their acquisition. It's a clear cloud execution technology. So this read to me like VMs for Codex, effectively, right? They bought a team to do that, and they'll join the Codex team. I wasn't expecting this acquisition, but I also not surprised, right? This is the next step, is to move you off to that virtual machine. So they have every incentive to do that, right? Because that means you can continue that session from your phone, from your laptop, from your other computers, all of that. So I'd expect more of that soon. It's already something you can kind of do. They'll scale that up from there. I also suspect that one way to get computer use and some of these testing loops to work more reliably is to have a consistent virtual machine. So rather than trying to make it work on every possible desktop configuration, they just have you run the thing in a virtual machine in the cloud that's always the same virtual machine. Gives them a leg up, at least in the near term. And I shouldn't say leg up, everybody's going to do this. Anthropic will do this. Google's going to do this, if they haven't already.
Now, just to report back, I kicked up Mario Kart just a top. I didn't give it the full prompt. I put it on low reasoning. It came back immediately and just started dumping tokens, output tokens. So yeah, very strange. I thought max reasoning probably would have felt for 5-10 minutes. I do wonder if it maybe just at a certain point during because it might be peak time, it might just kill it. And that could just be, I didn't get any response back on the workbench. I don't know. I'll keep seeing and see if we get any kind of response. But maybe for next time, we won't use workbench. This just feels kind of unreliable. I know, because it's oh, here's the API request. And that's great when it actually responds. But when it doesn't respond, you're just kind of shit out of luck. So anyway, the Mario Kart one is coming back. It's still trimming the tokens. Do you want to keep going in the next one? And then I can take control of it.
Yeah, totally. Are you moving in the background? There's a little bit of...
Sorry, should be good now.
All right, sweet. So the other topic you'll hear a bunch about in the AI space is everybody's doing loops. Loops are so cool now. We mentioned that earlier. Starting to see more of that. So this is CEO of Replit talking about how he's been using loops for a while. I don't do much traditional prompting. Most of my prompts are barely a sentence expressing an outcome. I have trouble parsing this exactly what he means. I know what all the individual words mean, but my orchestrator, is that one you built yourself? Is that just your agents.md file? Is that actually a true orchestrator in the broader sense? My computer user verifier gives it feedback. My security production SEO agents generate prompts for fixes. Those make more sense to me. And then of course, the founder line of industry is typically 3 to 6 months behind what we're doing at Replit. You got Lance here. I think Lance is at Anthropic. He has an article on creating loops, these self-correcting loops, where they give a whole prompting guide and they talk about giving it outcomes to work against. Generally, the /goal idea is, here's the outcome I want. I'm a little more ambiguous on how I want to get there. Just start looping through. We have surprise guests.
Hello.
Welcome To the
how's
feature crew.
how's our audio? How's our video? Are we
You
just
guys
spent
sounded good. You're here.
some time on that? Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
This is Devin. Devin is my closest friend from college and PhD candidate at Yale University in physics, and so has been using AI in his own life, and
a proud no longer writing code user of AI.
and also
vibe coder,
a chill guy
And a chill guy on the weekends.
Well, excited to have you on. Let's. I'm gonna quickly demo the Mario Kart that we got back. So, for reference, we were running a Mario Kart on high reasoning. It took 20 minutes, still don't have a response. So we put it on low reasoning and immediately got tokens back. So we're gonna go immediately have a look at what it did on low, because it's like effort. Thinking is now adaptive, so this is low effort. So expect not a great response, but.
Now, sorry, did you specify like Mario Kart? Like, does it ever hit like copyright issues or?
So as you can see, they call it. It's called Kart Racer 3D.
Kart Racer
Yes,
3D. Okay.
So that is now. This is the first time I'm playing it as well. Let's see. Click Start Race. Okay. Oh, it's not bad. It's kind of a little. I mean, it's actually playing not.
I mean, for low reasoning, this is a good result.
This is like this is much better than the city prompt that we got, and for low reasoning, it's really not that bad.
Is it running smoothly for you? We're getting a little stuttering.
I was gonna say, are you getting better frames than we are?
Oh yeah. It must be better frames. It is stuttery, but I can at least see something. But yeah, it's the camera's kind of jumping back and forward. I think
that's pretty sweet though.
You win. So for low reasoning, it came back with something. This is certainly not the some of the sort of things which are like I just duplicated Skyrim in one shot. But this was actually not bad. Like a low reasoning, this took like 30 seconds and probably only cost like 50 cents. It's not terrible. I'm gonna now see if the high one has done anything. So while I'm doing that and trying to debug it, if you guys wanna keep chatting, I'll start streaming.
Well, I can also pull up the city from I reran the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
So we can get that up. Cool, and I won't restart it because I don't know if it's still on my clipboard. But this is the city, the second attempt, which I was much happier with than the first attempt. We got actual 3D buildings. We have a downtown area. I also did up this from. We were at high reasoning before. I went to extra high, so I obviously each sample you're gonna get a different result, but I figured best chances.
We also, while checking it out, we saw a couple blocks burn down, and it had like the functionality to burn down city blocks and replace them.
Oh, sweet.
Yes, and I think the most important thing is that for the first time, the sandbox mode is actually constrained to the same city blocks as the city generation is. So if I go to sandbox tools and say go to raised, Devin's point. And if I want to grab this block here, burn it down, then that block is gone, right? And so when I build like a industrial zone, then it does it within that block instead of just placing it out in the world, right?
Okay, so maybe we will beat the OpenAI fanboy allegations. This is the best city response we've gotten.
I think it is. I think the river I've seen better, but overall, especially to the sort of spirit of the prompt of getting like a city sim kind of game, definitely the most aligned.
Could you fix that with like a single like line of in the prompt saying like river blocks cannot connect via a corner? Like, would it respond well to a small change like that?
I think it's like we'll definitely try that.
Yeah.
Hard to say if it'll pull it off.
There also are pedestrians in the river.
Yes.
Accurate.
We have swimmers.
That's a feature.
Are
cars staying on the road? Cars are staying on the road. That's a huge win for the city sim. Normally we get a little crazy taxi on our car driving here.
Okay, the pedestrians disappeared at night, and I was about to like comment on them disappearing, but then I'm wondering if that guy just got home.
That'd be incredible. These people actually have cycles.
Right, well, let's see. It's morning. It's morning now, right? So do they come out?
Well,
yep. Yeah, it's the green guy.
That is an industrial block, so a little unrealistic.
Fair. He went home. He went home to a factory. So he
Working
could
that
have night
996.
shift.
It's
He
fine.
have a night shift. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now he just meanders outside all day.
That's
Right.
Anyways, from a broad lens, it looks great.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I then
Trees are all oriented correctly. We got to remember where we came from here. We came from
No, trees were always oriented correctly in city. It was planet where
That's
they would
true.
get wonky.
It's the spheres.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
spheres are a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that all the windows aren't lit up either. That's a nice touch. Like normally you just
Right.
get this grid of yellow squares everywhere.
Now, if they did get they turn off over time. See, that'd be cool, right? Like, through the late night hours they're turning off, through the early morning hours they're turning on. That would be.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, I'm hyping this up. There's a lantern. Like this is the street. The street lights are oriented correctly.
And
We've gotten some weird street lights.
The lights are off during the day.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Now we should see if it's the same lights on every night. But
Ooh.
I'd have to guess yes.
yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, and like to be fair, actually, a couple of the tall buildings have the exact same pattern, so it seems like it's
Yes.
copy pasting.
Yeah.
Yes.
The pattern of
Yes.
it. So I'd call this a failure.
This would not get you into a postdoc program.
No, it would not. No, it would not.
Can confirm. John Doe in the chat says, LOL, the first attempt was scandalous in comparison. Almost makes you wonder what went wrong. Yeah, AI continues to be a one-arm bandit, right? You pull the arm, hope for the best.
I did turn it up one notch in reasoning. I don't know if that's enough to account for a complete failure to a success. I mean, there was something wrong with the first one. That was a worse response than we've gotten in like a year.
And then one consistent theme from the response is that the river is also blocky. The model's obviously using the grid as a shortcut for handling all the trades of the city. Totally. But fair enough. It's at least consistently applying that trend. Before we would get grid for the city and then the river, it was probably a year back where the river would float above the city. Like it would have thought of the river secondarily. We'd have like a Avatar river or something just floating in the air.
Okay, so what's the feedback? We want to give some feedback around the river. We want to give some feedback around.
Well, I think the easiest, I mean, I don't know. One of the easier solves for the river is to have like not every, like you could still be on a grid, but each river block is like partially grass with river going like one direction. And if they're connected on a corner, the river runs to that corner. There's some board game that's like that. Some like castle building board game.
Yep.
And so you could keep the same grid base. Because again, like this is not a crazy shape for a river to have if it like actually connects.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if it just curved here and then curved here, it's fine as long as it's connecting on the corners.
Jacob, do you have the reasoning time between these? Angry Owl in the chat makes the case that we could sort of see what went wrong in the first one if we diff the reasoning time.
Let's see. So this was the first one. It doesn't.
I don't know if it gives it to us.
I don't know what signature is. Yeah, unfortunately. That's just the code.
I mean, we can diff like the tokens.
Yeah, we can diff the tokens. Unfortunately, it doesn't break them into reasoning output and other outputs. So it was 61,000 output tokens in general, that's a big that's a big response.
Thanks for the $100.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And then if we let me see if I have the previous one. No, it didn't save it.
We also have the comment.
I'm doing one more workbench, but workbench is kind of dying. It's really unreliable and doesn't seem to save anything, and might be like, I don't want to necessarily say like, when we're like, oh, Mario Kart Max didn't work, so I kicked it back off, but it might be giving a response. I'm seeing token usage, but then we just don't get this response like streamed back. I'm almost certain that's because of the UI, not the API. Well, we can't determine if it's the UI or API. You know what I mean? Like, because
right.
things that save and stuff. So, we'll rip the API next time. For this time, we're just very excited to like start playing around with Fable. So we want to try and use what is available to us.
Also created some of the funniest overlap in terms in Twitter history, because the game Fable had a half-hour gameplay demo come out this week, and then Claude had Fable. So
Right,
you're getting
right,
headlines
right.
like Fable lets you get townspeople pregnant.
Yeah, I saw that too.
People were like, "What? That didn't hit our AI?"
No, it's like actually that was obviously Opus to let you get the townspeople pregnant.
Yeah.
It switched over.
That was Kimmy. Kimmy will let you just do whatever you want.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull down screen share and I'll do a round of feedback on the city. I mean, the main thing will be getting us down to first person with GTA, right? That's our usual trajectory here.
Yeah.
There's also some comments about like asking it to be more organic, like asking it to deviate from the grid. Who knows?
We'll get that in there.
It's a good push.
And this idea about like one of the comments was that there's not a bridge on every block, which again could be a feature of like, you know, not necessarily every intersection next to a river is going to have a bridge, but
Yeah.
it didn't seem super thought out necessarily.
100%.
And then Dylan, I think you're frozen on my screen, but if you're still streaming, it might just be me.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay. Mario Kart on extra high is still thinking.
Okay.
So it seems like there's a big difference as we like push up each notch for effort, which is exciting. It means that there's like room for expression, but it's very strange to go from like Insta tokens to come back after 30 minutes tokens.
And I do want to give a shout out to the audience. Thank you. This is our biggest stream ever, I'm pretty sure. We've crossed 35 at one point that I saw. So thank you all. We know what you want now. Consistently, the trend of biggest streams is when we try the models out live. So we are aware. And we'll continue to try models live.
Oh yeah. So right now I'm typing out the feedback. I'm asking for again our like full GTA gameplay systems pass, as well as a more organic city generation, like breaking from the blocks, fixing the river, that kind of stuff. And then just like a full gameplay loop as ever. I want to see how it interprets giving us a full gameplay loop.
Well, while we're waiting,
which sometimes shoots us in the foot. I just want to mention 2 streams ago.
It really does.
When I asked for a full gameplay loop in like the No Man's Sky game, I spent a good 30 minutes of the stream playing the full gameplay loop, you know, of like, oh shit, I need all these resources, I need all this other stuff just to progress. So but it's a reasonable test, and it shows us like how much they can think in advance and project out gameplay and that kind of stuff.
And like we were talking about in earlier action on the channel, like we're starting to get the vibe that these models are having better taste, and I think that is like critical for like real intelligence, quote unquote, right? When people say gameplay loop, there is like some kind of set of expectations you have in your head, and I think later models need to be able to nail that, right? Like it's great that we could like probably prompt everything, but when I say like, oh, a gameplay loop, and they're like, okay, well, there's like 1 point system, you're like, okay, that isn't what I meant. So it's also great to be testing this over time to see how these models interpret like more simple or more like ambiguous responses and give something like more aligned to what humans actually want.
Because I think that's the goal of all of this, is to turn, you know, natural language into polished products, which like, again, in my work, I've really benefited from, because I'm able to kind of just explain like the concept of what I'm interested in, and it'll find papers that might not match like my keyword searches. And again, if you want this to be like a tool that isn't being used by game devs, but is being used by like the common, you know, game enjoyer, you have to be able to give it a vague description, and it knows generally what the rules are, which again is also a big argument for like more specified AI models that kind of work within, because like one of the comments we got was that like, you know, in SimCity, the city generation is not done by the computer, it's done by the player. And so if you gave the AI a bunch of tools, like, okay, here's what a you know, residential block looks like, which is kind of what we have, then I could like, you know, in like MS Paint or whatever, like draw a river and put that in. That kind of solves some of the problems of like having it be, you know, knowing what a city looks like from a human recognizable perspective.
Well, that's
and
a great
this
callback.
relates.
While you were out, Jacob, someone mentioned in the comments that wouldn't it be great to give the models, shouldn't the labs give the models a scaffold for doing game I was like, funny you should say that.
Funny you should mention
John Doe, if your comment could you copy paste your comment or ping your comment? And then on top of that, just so we have something to display, Jacob, do you still have the artifact for challenge mode planet that we ran during the video? Like talking about taste. Remember how it had like a really nice like animation style? It wasn't a flat planet. Sorry, it wasn't a curved planet.
For the Fable video.
Yes, for the Fable video.
That's in the Discord. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it should be. Actually, I can probably just push it to the website real quick.
Yes, dude.
And Connolly asks, "What's your average for recorded videos?" Our actual recorded ones do pretty well for our level of channel. We get a few thousand views on anytime we do model tests in a recorded format. We've been doing the live streams more often to kind of branch out, and it's a reliable touch point we can hit each week. But those are small but mighty. We have the most dedicated group of any live stream. We thank them every week.
And just FYI, Jake and I are in New York, and it is big thunderstorm time. So I know you get curtains closed, but expect all of like that.
Little sound effects.
Little sound effects. We'll have flashes.
Wait, did you hear it? Did you hear that before us?
No, because I'm seeing it. Because you have a curtain, and you can't see. Like it's just like bucketing down, like because I'm right next to a window. So just in case, I don't think internet ever goes out or whatever, but like just pretty good.
I mean, we could take advantage of having a physics brain on the podcast to bring up the potentially dumbest but funnest SpaceX controversy.
Which is?
The next topic was going to be on the news with SpaceX IPO, which of course everybody knows is an IPO today, went up about 20%. Good news, but we continue to have folks without PhD degrees discussing whether or not our favorite topic, whether or not you could in fact radiate heat in space. So this person got all sorts of controversy on Twitter for saying that using the evidence of a Stanley or a Hydro Flask that you could not radiate in space. Cue a few people responding that the ISS does in fact already radiate heat.
It radiates like 200 megawatts or 200 kilowatts.
That sounds right. And people started going through saying you could in fact radiate heat in space. Is that true?
I believe it is, and I believe that our coffees don't have gamma radiation, which is probably best for us.
Right.
I think it's. I mean, again, it's all like scale. Like in a Stanley, we're using a vacuum to prevent radiation, and then in space, we've solved how to radiate in a vacuum. Like it's two sides of the same coin.
Right. And I think the biggest thing here is it's actually an engineering question. It's like not a physics question, which I think is like the main thing people are getting confused about.
Because also okay, can you radiate in space? We get our heat from the sun.
Right. You
clearly can. It's whether or not you're able to.
Right. And at what pace and can you radiate the heat that you need to? So in the case of, if you scroll back up to the original post.
Yeah.
The claim was
can't conduct heat in a vacuum.
Something about the guy who scratches phones told us that because you have a Stanley, you should understand that heat can't conduct in a vacuum, and radiated heat is ineffective at temperatures processors operate at. I mean, if you even run you will notice that he didn't run the numbers here.
Right.
You can.
That's why I picked the response, because this guy actually did bother to run the numbers and say, yeah, you could do it.
And I've run the numbers multiple times. We've talked about this on the pod before. You can radiate heat. This is not some physics bottleneck. It's so weird to me. It's so strange to me. You got me on a run here.
I know. I do it.
It's so strange to me that the people are really hyper fixating on the radiation bottleneck, because the orders of magnitude larger bottleneck is the launch cost, right? Like at the baseline, if you're trying to figure out if space data centers make sense, you need to look at the cost per sort of kilowatt of effective compute, cost per watt of effective compute to get it to orbit. So that breaks down into cost per kilogram to orbit and then kilogram per effective watt of compute. So and then you multiply. So that is the equation to figure out if this thing makes sense. And the limiting term is not the mass of the radiators. The mass of the radiators is order of magnitude similar to the mass of the solar panels, which are both larger than the mass of the actual compute itself. The area of the solar panels is some, constant multiple larger than the mass of the radiators. So the mass of the solar panels is the sort of constraining factor on the mass term, but the mass term is not the constraining factor. It's the cost per mass term to orbit.
Right.
And so there is no, at SpaceX, there is no joking around with like the difference between these two terms, that they are focusing on the cost per mass to orbit, and they have plans to greatly diminish that term. And so the success of this enterprise is all on that term. Can they get the cost of mass per orbit down an order of magnitude from where it is today? Right? Like a cost of a Starship launch today, you might say is like 100 million, right? It might not actually be 100 million, but let's just call it there for order of magnitude. If you get it to 10 million, you're kind of in the clear on space data centers, at least the first ones. Not that it is the only way to do it, but that you can start to supplement when you take into account the fact that you don't have the same diminishing returns on. I'm not doing this in the right way, but the main constraint on Earth-based data centers, there are two. There's one, it's just like the regulatory and power and everything. I'm just getting it built. But then once you get it built, then you've got this depreciation of the compute that you bought, right? And the reason that the depreciation of the compute matters is because it's all this like race to the bottom of how efficiently can you use the energy, because the energy prices or the prices of energy are the actual bottleneck. Once you put a data center in space, the energy bottleneck goes away, right? There's no longer an opportunity cost. You're not saying this 2-year-old processor is using power that could be used more efficiently by a processor that came out this year. I'm pausing because this is like essential.
Yeah.
Once you have your space data center satellite in space, it can continue doing inference compute, and it doesn't need to be pulled down because the GPUs are no longer as efficient. It doesn't matter if you have inefficient GPUs. The power is free. You have your solar panels. The sun's always on. You can keep going.
Until the amount of compute you need reaches like a new order of magnitude compared to what. Like if you have, 10,000 satellites and now you need like a million's worth of compute, then they're fairly useless.
Then they're fairly useless.
But they're still
they're not useless, right? Because still there's no marginal cost to operate them. So so that's going on one side. That's like a part of the whole regulatory prices increasing on Earth, the constraints, water constraints increasing on Earth, the fact that you have to deal with depreciation of GPUs. On the other side, we've got free power, but we have to figure out how to put these radiators up. Like it all boils down to cost per kilogram to orbit, and that's what Starship is aiming to solve. We will see if it solves it. Looks better than ever as somebody who's followed SpaceX for 15 years. It's pretty certain to me that this architecture will become operational. It wasn't always. We'll see how it plays out. I will let me and Jerry rig everything. We'll check back in a couple of years.
He's also currently wearing a SpaceX.
It's true.
It's IPO day, baby. I didn't buy any, by the way. No financial advice, but I can be a fan of the rockets and a fan of the engineers and not believe in a $2 trillion valuation in 2026.
Well,
yeah.
I truly love two things. I love Jacob's line of the guy who scratches phones, which is just fantastic. And then I also love the dunk that I haven't actually seen anybody with a physics background even bother to respond to this, but the immediate point out of, you guys know we have something in orbit that's radiating heat right now, right? We have done this. This is knowable.
Yeah, now, and the numbers I'm using for my calculations of when I say that you can get like a megawatt sat up there, like a megawatt compute sat up there for let's say 50 tons, right? 20 tons solar, 20 tons radiators, and then 10 tons compute. Like the assumptions I use were what I would call, quote, off the shelf assumptions, which doesn't mean that there's something you can buy, like a radiator that has this efficiency. But if you look at the, as Chris is saying, the currently deployed radiators and their efficiency, and then projecting a little bit forward with what we have now, being that these were launched 10, 20 years ago, like these are reasonable assumptions. This is not, I'm not using
It's also
the $2 million to launch
premise
Starship
that
cost.
A guy that scratches phones, to your point, found a hole in a design that the entire SpaceX engineering didn't. Like, you're like, yeah, these people who have put more mass in orbit than literally everyone else combined. They just, radiation, that really broke them down. They couldn't solve radiation.
Well, I thought space was cold, so it's fine.
Okay, well, that was my successful attempt at vamping while the models run. Do we have results to share?
I think we do on my side.
Right,
sorry everybody for the long rant. But
we're still at 27 viewers. The people liked a good SpaceX controversy.
Very good.
Oh no, actually we're still going on the city. So if anybody else
Okay, well we got Mario Kart.
All right, sweet.
So I'll go ahead and share that.
Just in this downtime, Tatsu Code, another shout out. I mean, unbelievable.
Legend. Absolute legend.
Thank you, Tatsu Code. Well, okay.
Something that's free that folks in the chat can do is do like the live stream. It helps us get up there on your home screen. Sorry to do the generic YouTuber thing, but give us a like.
So this was like a extra high variant with a longer prompt. It's got a lot of the same stuff. This time now it's got like items and a little bit better graphics and stuff like that.
Are there
It looks
sound
a little
effects
bit more
in
like Mario
locally?
There are sound effects. Little
Okay, sweet.
Is that coming through or no?
No. But I was curious if it added them.
Yeah, so it's added a little bit of sound effects like that. So I'd say it's not like a huge. I added drifting, which is like terrible.
Questionable decision to not use freedom units for the the speed of the car.
The speed. That's interesting, actually. We have some primitive things. So hey, I mean,
it knows your background.
It's
like this guy thinks in kilometers.
And whenever you're running this, your audio starts to like cut out a little bit, which is interesting.
Glitch out. Okay.
Chris, are you hearing this too?
Yeah.
It's I wonder what it's doing to your computer. Like what?
I have heard that it does tend to like using hardware acceleration to pull this off, which
makes sense. I mean, I wonder if that means like it's going web GPU over like GLSL or something.
Yeah. But regardless, this is not like a gonna get featured sort of response, but it made something slightly better when it was on higher effort. So props to it. But yeah, there's probably a limit to how far we can really push it as a single HTML file, one shot, so it's what it is.
Well, Jacob, earlier we brought up goals and how like the Replit CEO and other folks were talking about how they're running in loops now. They have their agents running in loops. And I thought that was quite interesting because the other headline you're seeing is places like Meta are curbing AI spend. So you have folks running AI companies. So Anthropic put out a guide too for doing /goal and having folks run these loops. And it's funny that the people selling tokens are all about like, hey, put this thing in like an infinite loop till it solves your problem. And then the folks deploying it at scale are like, actually, we're burning too many tokens right now. We need to bring this cost down.
Which I think is fair. Like I felt the same thing. If you run goal, I tweeted this like a week ago, which is like /goal is too spiky to be usable as it currently stands. Yeah. With current models, this long running task thing, they're just not smart enough. Like I've had some times where I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I got a cool result. Yeah, if it's like perfect, right? Like I gave it some metric that it can perfectly optimize. It's like the browser test. We're back to the browser test. Develop a browser from scratch, right? And so maybe it can do that, but then if you like in your day-to-day software development tasks, like it's not doing it. Like
there was a great
every
tweet
time I've
someone...
run /goal, it's dug itself a hole that is unrecoverable. Like that I need to just scrap that branch. Like,
someone tweeted, so I put /goal on to rebuild Calendarly. I canceled my $10 a month subscription and paid $10,000 to get a clone. Like, exactly that. We are in that era right now, for sure. Which would get me triggered because I will start going down the whole personalized software is not going to be the massive trend people think it is. Rant like this. This is I firmly believe this. Like I believe in gravity. Like most people are not out there going like, God, I would really love to build and maintain an agentic loop for software.
No. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. What I think is that it'll start with like little primitives, right? We've already started to see this, right? Where it's like, oh, I think Google and OpenAI and Anthropic, all of them have done something where it's like, oh, if you're learning and you want to learn in a little bit more interactive way,
Yep.
We'll run this little sim for you. And
my daughter loves using Cursor to make a Sudoku game, right? It just comes up right away and it's exciting.
And then your daughter's using Cursor, right? So that's even a step beyond what we're expecting Gen.
Well, she just knows that there's a box and you hit enter. We're still not at typing out sentences. She's only 4. We're getting there.
Sure, but she's already probably past Gen Pop. It's the point is that like, yeah, the simplest example of just-in-time UI is the markdown that the models use, have been from the beginning, right?
And the core truth of product development is that most people don't know they have a need, right? Like most people aren't out there being like, God, I'm so underserved by the apps available. I'm so underserved by the entertainment out there, right? They don't know they want something till it's already out there. A lot of usage is social, right? Oh, my friends recommended using this, or the restaurant I want to go to uses this ticketing app, so I go download the app. And with personalized apps, it's going to be a fetish for the tech first folks, but I don't believe in the scale of that. I do believe, to your point, that there will be some just-in-time interfaces. I don't think as many as people think, and that I might have one-off things. I could see the AI making me controls quickly to help me give it feedback. Like all that stuff makes sense. But the idea that everybody's an app developer has never been true and is still not going to be true. Even maintaining your own little home automation app is a nightmare. Even when you don't have to write the code, you're like, oh, I got pinged at 2 a.m. because the fucking connector went down.
And by definition, just-in-time UI cannot include maintaining, right?
Right,
so
correct.
Just-in-time UI can only include things that do not require maintenance.
Yeah.
And so therefore, the simplest version, as I was saying before, of just-in-time UI is Markdown.
Yeah.
Right? It's that the model responds in Markdown and then it renders with headings and tables and whatever. The future versions of this, or maybe there's a button, maybe there's a slider, and then it keeps going from there. And I do think at one point we will have sort of sci-fi only implied in sci-fi because they couldn't figure out how to do it visually levels of just-in-time UI, but it doesn't mean that there will be any maintenance. Like,
right.
I think we agree that like if there is a maintenance cost, that is not eligible for just-in-time UI yet.
And even people who are creatives aren't going to want to do this, right? Oh, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I was gonna say, like, isn't there a world where you can have these kind of like temporary tools that help you navigate the 10 different reservation softwares that exist, and like you can,
session based,
And again, you're still kind of like you're still working within the framework that exists, but like now when I want to like book a restaurant, I have to go to like there's a few different sites that have different ways of booking a restaurant, like. Again, these like more agentic things that kind of quick could not do it themselves, but save you a lot of time and effort because probably on like the website API side, they're pretty easy for an AI to understand what's going on. And they can give you these like really quick, like, okay, this is what is available across all these different things. So there's that middle ground. Like you're not really building a tool, but you're having it search the existing tools.
Right. And this is a great example because like if you go on Google Maps and you go to like a restaurant you want to order from, and then it's got like an order button and you drop down and it's got like the various places you can order from, right? Like that is just-in-time UI in a way.
Yeah.
And so those same primitives can be used.
Yes. But then also there's so many times when like Google is wrong. And if I had an AI to search, like I the other week was about to like walk to a restaurant and then I happened to check their actual website, not Google. And they're like, oh, we're closed for the month. And an AI could quickly go and do that in a way that like, Google also is kind of slow in updating these things. And so I don't need to build a tool, but like, I mean, even just an AI that can like, again, they're starting to get better at like searching the web in real time, which is still a bit shaky at times. Like that can be a really useful thing.
Well, I think to your point, one of the canonical things people love to demo that isn't actually done that often is plan a trip. But it begs for an interface like this, where I want to go like, oh yeah, I want to take this flight. I'm going to stay at this hotel. I want to get this car service. Right now, those are 4 different apps.
Yeah.
They're spread out.
No, and I did that. I was in Ireland with family recently, and we were driving from somewhere way up north to like somewhere down south, and I said like, give me every possible like landmark along the way. And I could have done searching for every town along the route, but it just like gave me a list of 15 things. Half of them were not on the route and half of them were whatever, but like it just like simplified that search in a way where like I can't Google like, what's everything interesting between like New York and Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah.
But an AI can kind of start to get there.
Right.
Yep.
And then also like, it can, do that for like some pretty niche things.
100%. We have results coming back.
We do. Okay, so this is the original city. This is what we were looking at before. And then the feedback, as a reminder, was to deal with like sort of the nature of the city generation, like make it a little bit more natural, specifically around the rivers. So right on the original version, we have these like, the river follows the city grid. Then our normal challenge mode was also part of this. Get us down to first person. We're playing GTA 6 here, right? Like really try to prompt it to get some exciting stuff going. And then the third thing was just like to have a gameplay loop. So beyond just being in first person and beyond like seeing the city from GTA level, to actually give us something to play through. So
sorry, real quick. There's a good comment about how even if you had like a just-in-time UI, you'd want to like there'd be times when you'd want to cache a UI that worked. And I think that's one thing that a lot of AIs are bad at now is like when you get a good response, it doesn't understand why it was good and it doesn't remember that.
Yeah.
And so right now it's mostly like, okay, hey, we're gonna if something was good, then like there was probably some components there that were good. We're gonna make that a component in the component library of the just-in-time UI system.
That's 100%. You're gonna get a design system.
Oh my goodness!
It'll catch
Tatsu,
the super app.
Tatsu's back with another $100.
Tatsu. We're renaming the channel Tatsu,
which I believe means dragon.
Oh, does it really?
I believe it does.
Oh, amazing,
Dylan.
Well, you are certainly the dragon of the channel. Thank you very, very much.
I mean,
incredible.
Yeah, I don't know, but amazing. Thank you so much.
You guys should have me on more often.
Yeah, we're bringing you back every week now. We'll pipe you in.
Well, thank you again, Tatsu. Hopefully, we're getting some good results back with our first.
Oh my god, I feel like we have to run more now. I feel this obligation to run more.
Grand Theft Poly, by the way, does sound like a New York Times article coming out of the polycule San Francisco scene.
I knew you were going to say that. Chris is too close to this polycule scene. It's dangerous.
It's just Anthropic shuttered by Grand Theft Poly.
Oh my god.
See, population expendable.
If he's there, is he there? I don't think so. Okay. Sorry. Okay, Grand Theft Poly and new game.
So we're back to the knocked out building.
So we're back, but it's funny because it gave us like a full animated character,
Yeah.
Oh, look at the car.
Yeah, at first I was like, what the? But I seen the mini map down the bottom. It's
Mini
got
map's
some kind of
cool.
like.
And wait, actually, the minimap has like a natural river shape.
Ooh,
Yeah.
right.
I mean,
So there are elements here. Wait,
what is this failure case we keep getting?
I don't know.
I have no idea because the collisions are here. Like, look, if I walk into where the building should be, collision.
So this is like a shader bug. This is very odd.
Can you
No,
open the
'cause
console
if
as
it-
well? Like, is there any console errors? Click the
Yeah.
No, this
too
one's
many areas
common.
with GL. So there's something like going on there with like.
All right.
It's fine. Yeah. So
We missed the
Hopefully this is a
opportunity
bug
to
that
have
fixed.
Fable make Fable, by the way.
True.
Okay, we got a natural river though.
Yeah, true.
It is
Of a natural river.
Welcome to
He's
the
in
blue.
it.
with a
Start a job.
bridge.
What happens when you go in this alien portal?
Courier run.
Wait, is this
Ooh.
like
West.
it's like what's that? Crazy Taxi.
Wait, what do I have to do?
They're making a new one. Did you see that?
Deliver
Really?
the
Oh my
package.
gosh.
believe
That's
so,
actually really
yeah.
cool.
That's incredible.
I used to love that game.
Deliver the package. Where do I have to go? I'm just
Simpsons
assuming
Hit
it's
and
the
Run.
green, but
Banger back in the day.
Yeah, hit that.
I couldn't play Grand Theft Auto as a kid, but Simpsons Hit and Run, that was on board.
Ooh.
That was on the table.
Oh,
oh my god, do you hear this?
whoa.
No.
No. Sound not
This is-
coming
I'm
through.
getting a crazy cops out, and I'm crashing into
It
the
is like hurting my ear.
Oh, if you see at the top, you've got like 1 star. You know, like kind of like the GTA.
You got to try to share audio.
Wasted.
This is incredible.
This has got guts to it. I think these guys just got like.
Dude, the
Their
Apple
streamer
Watch would
called
have
it.
got
It
on.
almost looks like we're walking on the mini map, which I agree with. It very much looks like
Oh,
it flattened everything.
That's kind of true.
Oh my god.
All right, we have to try to fix that.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, what is the problem? Because it seems like the physics objects are there.
Yeah, the physics objects are there.
It's a Frontier model. You could screenshot it, be like, buildings aren't rendering.
That's interesting.
All right, let's do
It'd be like buildings aren't rendering, but we love the river.
it. Huge work on the river. I also want to point out that my rank in the top left, I am rank nobody.
Wait, it's like those ads.
It's like
level
level
0
1
crook. Yeah,
crook,
Yeah.
level 30
50
boss,
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
your girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh my god! Well, as that's
we're
running,
building
speaking
something
of
here.
ads, we have. You want me to take over the share for a second?
Yeah, go for it while I give the feedback.
The other
Awesome.
massive thing on the internet, if you're not habitually online like some of us, is this gentleman generally works on spacecraft work, but decided to make a quick app for putting an ad in your Claude spinner. Now, this is only in VS Code. He didn't somehow hack Claude Code, but you can watch ads in your Claude spinner and get paid. So you get part of the revenue. He takes part of the revenue. So this is the latest. Dude made a bunch of revenue in the first few days here. I think he posted exactly how much he got, but got a ton of usage. Oh, this is projected. Well, projected rate. Well, 29 million in revenue. Which
Wait, but where is he on the graph?
what did it say? Yeah, exactly. Where are we at? I mean, this is only the 11th through the 12th here, so this does not mean how much money he made. This was the throughput of the network, but hilarious. I don't expect this to last more than a few more days here, but hilarious to see kickbacks.ai.
Okay. As the ad enjoyer of the channel, I don't enjoy these ads. That's just not gonna. I'm not installing this.
You're not going to make money off watching ads? I thought you were going to pull the RAI card and be like, I don't necessarily know that you should put an ad network into your terminal, but hey.
Oh, I would be down for that if it was like playing me like full screen, like very engaging ads. I would 100% do that.
Oh my God,
just
we are
little
very
text
different
things?
people.
That's like, hey,
Dylan sometimes tries to get me to walk through Times Square just to see the ads.
So I'm here for it. If
Dude,
you
how
could-
are you not the designer? This feels like a very designer take. You're like, there's artistry to the ads.
No, it's
Like,
something
you gotta
else.
see-
It's something else going on. It's not.
It's the
designer.
fact that I just get the dopamine hits from it. You know, like you don't like seeing ads. Like it's crazy to me. Like you go, yeah,
No, I don't.
anyway.
No, I don't like seeing ads. No.
I
no, no.
love good
I-
ads. Good ads though. It can't be bad ads. Anyway,
Occasionally,
that
I
when
will
you're-
say Meta's got the best ad model. Occasionally on Instagram, I'll see an ad and I'll be like, you got me. You got me right there, right around the holidays. They'll find like a banger for a gift for like my in-law or my dad, or generally me, I'm too weird. They won't get me right. But Etsy though, Etsy can play.
It's you can play.
Mhm.
Disroba
Etsy
was a great
AI.
idea to get our AI agents to watch ads to pay for token use. Do like that. I like seeing all
100%.
the reels of like, it's 2030 and you basically let 10,000 years of ads so you can like get a discount on your like DoorDash, whatever. It's just some guy like, the guy, he just wakes up all sweaty or whatever. It's so good.
Well, we're going to see a test of this with OpenAI's ad model. Like that has to
Yeah.
happen. They are going to deploy it. There's
Yep.
no other way to monetize the 900 million users, of which, 20, 30 million actually pay. somewhere in there. I think they've announced.
Also, my thing is like I'm on the like 20 a month plan, which like
Yeah.
works for my purposes.
Yep.
I would watch ads to up my token usage. Like I don't, like I do sometimes. I often hit my limit, and like I'm not gonna 5x my monthly cost. I'll watch some ads,
Yeah.
Especially if it was like Wallet's reasoning. Like I got nothing to do.
Yeah. It is a good insight. It is the captive audience. This guy did find that moment.
Yeah.
All right, so we're not against the ad idea. We're against the quality of the ads and the idea so far.
Yeah.
No, I'm not against the ad idea. I'm just always going to pay to not see them.
$20 a month. I dream of those prices as the video gen guy on the team.
Fucking founders with no income. Listen,
but my last $200.
My last sub that's going away is.
Thank you, Tatsu. By the way,
YouTube Premium is just the last one to go.
I've never. Like people freak out on Twitter when they always go, which subscription's worth it? I was like, I would give up Spotify tomorrow. Yeah. I would give up Netflix today. I wouldn't give up YouTube Premium.
I think Spotify would be my last. I cannot function without it.
Dude, that's commonly skipped button. So not only do you not get the YouTube ads, but even the ads in video, you could skip them. I'm like that. For that alone, I'm here. Let's go.
I have never had YouTube Premium.
Why?
That's crazy.
I just don't.
Are you waiting for like your play button where you get it for free?
I don't even think we do.
Yeah.
But we do want the play button.
We do want the play button.
Wait, you've never paid for Gemini? You pay for Gemini, you get YouTube Premium.
Oh, I like this comment.
I don't pay Gemini. I used to I'm a Gemini hater. Claude, I'm like, they're competitive. Gemini, I like, maybe this is my bias, but I'm like, every time I use it, like, just the fact that I will use the latest model with an API and get some like 400 or 500 level error during like a normalized time, I'm just like,
they're a joke. They're a joke. Google's a fucking joke. I can't believe how this size of company with this much importance around the product, as Dylan is saying, is getting these joke errors. It's unbelievable.
And I get like, it's probably, I don't know, maybe they don't prioritize the API, fine, whatever. But I'm like, so I get Gemini like adjacently through like, the other products, but I would not pay for the experiences that I've had so far. Right. Like, so that's for me why I just like don't pay. I'm like, it's just.
Okay, wait, here's a question based on a comment. Would you take better reasoning in Claude, but in response, there are ads in the billboards of the cities you generate?
100%.
There's like a Chick-fil-A.
It would add to the realism.
No.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. The reason I wouldn't is because, again, this is the same thing as what we talked about at the start of the stream of the trust component of that. If you, unless it told you, hey, optionally, we will put something in. But the fact that they train that in, that they're like, is this an opportunity for us to put something into your idea to monetize? Then I'm suddenly like, you've SFT'd that. I can never trust. Like, if I'm not reviewing every single thing you do, you could be trying to like siphon my shit. So that's why I don't like that.
I don't know. Do you ever think that like the models are trying to psyop you? Like, I don't know. Like, it might not be like for Chick-fil-A right now, but like these models aren't like completely innocent, I would assume.
Yeah, 100%.
I do believe the OpenAI models have a proclivity for ancient aliens, if that's the question. They love
that
it.
Might just be how you're prompting them. That might be a you thing.
No, we've tried this across 3 people. It loves a good ancient conspiracy.
Interesting.
And then, side note, John Doe says, Dylan trying to talk New Yorkers into going to Times Square to use the ads is demonic timing. I avoid it like the plague. John Doe, me and you are on the exact same wavelength.
Wait.
Never agreed with anyone more, frankly.
Wait. Okay, I go there early though. Jacob in the test, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. It's beautiful.
You get up and also 4:30 p.m. You're like,
but that's early enough. If it's post 8 p.m., yeah, okay, I get it. Or like
there's no time. There is no time.
Dylan actually lives in an H&M advertisement.
I live incredibly close to the H&M. Like it's not a lot of touch with, but I'm close to like the Dodge or something like that. That's crazy, man.
No, the one time though is when Dylan and I met up on Wednesday in Times Square to see the just
post
bedlam in the city. That was cool. There are times for Times Square, and it's like once a year, or sorry, once a century.
Once at NBA Finals.
It's once a century when the Knicks have a historic comeback, and that's it for me.
The most Minnesotan thing I can say in response to this, not living in the state anymore, is This reminds me of the Mall of America. I don't know if you guys have heard of this cultural milestone.
Yeah. We have one here now in Jersey.
We would go once a year as like a pilgrimage to the capitalist Holy Land.
You've got like the Nickelodeon thing in the middle. And
there is a whole amusement park in the middle of it, but it's just insane to see how many stores you can pack into a single area. And then once American you've gone Dream. Once, you're out. You're out for a year.
Of course you like American Dream, Dylan.
I love that shit. Like American Dream is the mall like by MetLife Stadium, like in New Jersey. Like 20-30 minute bus there. You got like indoor slopes. You got Nickelodeon.
So Jersey is currently, for anybody who doesn't know,
we don't do buses to America. We burn fossil fuels in Minnesota.
Jersey took one look at MetLife Stadium and was like, "We're gonna build slop mecca." So they have they now have a Mall of America clone. There's like multiple stadiums going in. There's like a casino going in. They just want it to be just like, don't respect yourself central. It's just, and hey, I mean, listen, it might be a good business decision. But I can't step foot on those grounds. Whatever
Are you sure you don't want to pay like $98 for a return trip during the FIFA World Cup? It's kind of insane, dude.
No, I'm actually sure. I'm positive. Believe it or not.
It's like a 20-minute bus ride or something, right? Or like a train ride, or
all to watch soccer,
all to watch football.
All right, you're in America now. What do you want to? You just did biometrics. What is this?
True.
Soccer. Your blood type is soccer. Let's.
Did we get? Okay. All right. What do we got?
I have a response.
Let's watch. And then
Grand Theft Poly, 2 point something. New game.
Oh boy.
Brutal.
You know what we need right now? Codex to solve this problem.
Codex and to be fair, Codex. So at the end of the last marathon stream, where I was testing things out on Opus, the last result from Opus was broken.
Yep.
And I wanted to get it up for everybody to use, and so I had Codex fix it. It did it in 30 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, and look, to be fair, like it's different because it is a harness and stuff like that. But yeah, this just speaks to. I mean, we're not being the allegations that we're OpenAI fanboys, but it just works. You know what I mean? Like
you also cannot jump in water. Interesting.
Oh, it's not bad. The skeleton is here though, you know. Like,
it's crazy though that it got that detail and then couldn't
have buildings.
And I told it explicitly, the buildings are not visible. Gave it a screenshot. I was trying to simulate the harness thing.
It's just Ohio.
Yeah,
it does look like Ohio.
But the fact that you could do like the hopping in a car, the fact that there was like the little job things, the rank, I assume actually works.
But I just think it's interesting that like we're not getting like when we did 4.8 Opus. We got all the way to combine the city and the planets. We got city on planet. And
does
we're
that speak to the broader trend of they're
buildings.
assuming an agentic harness now? Like, is that more of the super app trend where they're like, all right, like we are going to optimize this for using it in Claude Code or using it in Codex, depending on the company?
My point would be like, I think, yes, that's the direction they're going. That's the direction they should be moving. But given the fact that I gave it all it would have, and it like,
the raw intelligence should still be there, right?
This was supposed to be AGI. It's going to be bio weapons Armageddon. And I tell it the buildings aren't visible and it can't make the buildings visible.
And look, I get devil's advocate that they might be like, well, actually, if you kept giving it more like feedback and input and data, it could solve it. But, you know, by some definition of AGI, you're going to be like, you got to figure this out.
I'm sure it would at some point. It's just like I don't know.
I guess that to your point,
precursor model didn't got there way faster, or it didn't even have this problem.
Yeah.
Let me find one of these.
I think for like, at least for me, like Fable has been like there's so many interesting things of this model, but we also don't know, has it been like nerfed? Is this really what we're getting?
It's so loud when you get in a car.
Oh, sorry.
It's like painfully loud.
we had to, for our ears' sake, I had to back out.
But lads, I will have to start heading off now. It is dinner time. Yeah. But thank you so much. You guys gonna? I assume you're gonna stay on for a little bit.
I think we can call it.
Yeah,
call it now. Yeah,
it's a good stream.
I do think I like MMA Hawk's question about like 2.5D Smash Bros. Like, let it chill a bit on trying to do like full 3D rendering. Yeah, again, I think like I'm sure you guys have talked about this, but like I would love to see like some of the new like just like image gen stuff now, like how good that is getting
all put together.
Because I think that like 3D playable simulation is still gonna be really hard for a long time. But seeing some of these more edge cases, but also something like Super Smash Bros. Is going to have a bit less data probably baked into the system.
100%.
Like there's, I don't know how many hours of GTA and GTA-like things out there that it's basing it off of. But like some of these other more niche things, or like, I don't know, trying to make some old like Final Fantasy, like, 2D RPG.
Yeah, 2D like full sprite.
Because then, is it good at the I don't know, getting NPCs pregnant, as we mentioned earlier? Like, can it
Yeah, I mean, what? Just on this note about like doing we can flip for the community, but would you guys be interested in like a Discord, folks in chat, where we could have like a backlog? Because often we do have a backlog of things. We're like, damn, we wish we could do that. And so if we could like cache it in between these sessions, then we know next time we're like jumping on a stream, we're like, oh, these have already been uploaded, so that will be a little bit more time efficient.
I think the point about the image models, so answer Dylan's question in the chat, and then following up on the image model it is one of the interesting points is, will it be a weakness for Anthropic that they don't have an image model for these sort of tests? Like, will OpenAI start to have these agentic flows that include GPT image 2 generating assets? We saw that a bit with the pets or the pals, the little guys you could make. It was doing the sprite sheet generation pass. And I wonder if that's a preview of them coming out with a model that's maybe a tick up on their numbering, but does include this tool use of their own image model, so they can create this closed loop of prompted specifically for image assets for the game, use those to make increasingly complicated games. Will they have a lead there because the image model's in-house? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see them integrate that, because Anthropic right now would either have to make an image model, or which people were rumoring that the Mythos launch website had all these variations on the 5. Maybe that was an image model, but they denied that claim. So do they make an image model, or do they just think they can brute force their way through without it? I don't know. Because we also saw that help for web gen, right? You could take an image of the website and give that to the coding model.
I'm big on the Omni models. I'm big on multimodality.
The rub is general.
The rub is its general. Absolutely. I think we will eventually see Anthropic with an image model.
And hopefully maybe next week we might see a OpenAI response to Fable. Who knows? Hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
If you want to make the AGI OS, you need it to be like multimodal everything. I don't see how you do it without that. So let's see what Anthropic
And we need it for our prediction of the year to come true, which is game gen for these models becomes a key benchmark.
Right.
Well, thank you folks for tuning in.
Great stream, everybody. Shout out again to Tatsu Code. Incredible. My goodness.
So much.
Can't thank you enough.
We'll have to run even more Mythos. Fable, whatever. I always lose track of these names. We'll have to run more Fable prompts next week to continue sort of living up to that donation. We really appreciate it. And
thank you everybody who stayed. Yeah.
In the last video, support like that really helps us keep going. Like we all have full-time jobs. This is something we do for fun, for the community, as a hobby, and just it means a lot. It means a lot.
And it also means a lot to all of you that stay through to the end here. We have folks that show up every week. John Doe, Dare Streber, Grady S, like all of these folks. And I'm forgetting names here, but a lot of you not only show up every week, but you stay through the entire stream. And that means the world to us. So thank you all very much. MMA Hockey, we're providing some wonderful prompts, like Angry Owl keeping the discussion going. We got a lot of great folks in the chat. So thank you, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks so much, folks.
Thanks, everyone.